或者是钉钉上给大家说一下，我就可以开始了。
开始了。
说这边是要这个地方是要关掉的，这个地方是要关掉的。
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live. We'll give a few more minutes, a few more seconds for people to join. Hope everyone's having a great day wherever they're joining us from. Okay, well, let's get started. First of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us in this Huobi and Cube live. My name is Brian Benson. I'm the COO of Cube Network, of the new Cube chain. So I wanted to tell a little bit about our project, what we're doing, and go from there. So in order to get started, what I'd like to do is introduce myself briefly. My name is Brian Benson. I'm originally from the United States. Give me 1 second. So sorry, one technical difficulty here. Give me 2 seconds, please. Okay, so today's live is between Cube Network, which is a project that I'm involved in. I'm the COO of, and Huobi Live. So first of all, I want to thank Huobi for inviting us to come on the live with them and tell a little bit more about the project that we're involved in and that we're so excited about. But before we get started, what I thought would be a good idea is for me to introduce myself and a little bit about my background. So I'm going to get started with that, and then we can go from there. Again, my name is Brian Benson. I'm the COO of Cube Network, and Cube Network is a new layer 1 modular blockchain that has been created recently and went live on Monday of this week, so 2 days ago. The background of mine is very interesting. I am originally from the United States. I was born near Chicago. And when I was very small, my family moved to Peru, to South America to live. And so I grew up most of my life outside of the United States. I came back to the United States for university and went to university in California and started my career in the traditional financial world. So I started working as an investment banker at Morgan Stanley, directly out of university. During this time, I learned a lot. I became a futures trader and enjoyed my time there before moving on to working in the technology space on Wall Street. So I helped to build a risk analysis tool for different types of risk of mortgage-backed securities, which at the time were very popular on Wall Street. This project I had an exit on and then moved on to okay, so after the mortgage-backed security project, I left the technology space in finance and went into technology in oil and gas. During this time, I worked in AI and machine learning in the industrial space. And directly after this part of my career is when I found the crypto world and Bitcoin in late 2015. And ever since then, I've been working full time in the crypto space. First, I started out as a trader, and I started using my skill sets as a trader. And then later, in a couple of years later, when the futures markets started to develop inside of Bitcoin, then I was able to quickly use that to build a futures trading desk. Um, the the best part about that was that I was using the skill set that I had learned in the traditional financial world, and I moved over to doing this in crypto. So I was a futures trader. Then I got really interested in the layer one protocols and started to build a payments app on Algorand, which is another layer one protocol. During this time, I was extremely excited to be building on this, and I was recruited by Binance to help lead the expansion into Latin America. So the last several years of my career, I was working as the managing director of Binance in Latin America, and enjoyed that experience quite a great deal. During my time there, we launched P2P, which is the C2C or the customer to customer trading platforms. We launched Binance Pay. We also launched the Binance Smart Chain during my time at Binance, and all of the things that came along with that. I recently left Binance in February, the end of February of this year, to come in and to help out and to join the Cube team. So that's a little bit about my background, and I wanted to just share that before I go into telling a little bit more about what the Cube project is. So briefly, to tell you a little bit more about Cube, Cube is a high performance, scalable, and modular, it's worth noting, layer one public chain. And this is a very exciting project for me because I was involved with other layer ones. I was involved with the growth of layer ones, and I think that what we've built at Cube is something very special. So some of the key details are that it's capable of supporting multi-chain and cross-chain architecture, and this has been designed in from the very beginning. So the project initially is compatible with EVM and Cosmos ecosystems. One other thing, the Cube is actively committed to participating in the development of decentralized cross-chain protocols. And we are really keen on Web3 infrastructure, which was going to provide our users and the developers on our chain with next generation multi-chain experience. So that's really at the heart of what we're building at Cube. And I think that we're doing a really good job and have a very, very good chance of being a very important layer one as the industry continues to grow. Now at Cube, we value several things. Among those are innovation and community are at the top of that. So for us, it's all about bringing excellent new technologies and giving tools to users and developers that they're going to find very useful and very easy to build. And by using this and nonstop technological innovations, we hope to be a huge part of the Web3 as it builds out. And we really want to unite communities of various projects from various different ecosystems and deliver a better Web3 experience to all. I think we've seen over the last several years that there's quite a bit of scalability issues in this industry, and whether that is spending a lot of time and money on the gas fees and confirmations on the Ethereum, or using some of the other chains that often are less than scalable to be able to handle the type of traffic that is coming towards the Web3 environment. I think that we are really able to create a special project here that is going to grow very rapidly. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about the Cube team. I think that one of the things that's important to us is that we make a great technology, and it's a technology that's going to work really well for many years to come. But behind all good technologies are great teams, and I think that's something that really drew me to want to come and help lead the Cube project, is that we have an amazing team, and our team is built up of senior blockchain practitioners and experts from all over the world. And some of the people that we have on our team come from, really well-known companies like Apple, Binance, Alibaba, and as well as Huobi and many other excellent companies. So I think that's something that also draws a stark distinction in some of the other projects out there, is that we have people on our team that are researchers, that are senior experts, and that have a great deal of experience inside of the industry. And this is something that is very valuable, because as we start to build the technologies of the future and of Web 3.0, the team behind the projects is really going to be critical and key. And so I think that's something also that I would like to draw on, is we can have the best technology in the world, but if we don't have the best team in the world to help drive this, to help create user communities, to help solve issues that our customers may have, it's not going to be as effective as it would be otherwise. So this is something that Cube and the entire group is committed to, and we're very excited about that. Moving on, I'm going to take a few more minutes to speak about a few things, some of the advantages of Cube as we see it compared to other chains. And then what I'd like to do is take a few moments to answer some questions or to take some comments from the audience. So speaking about the advantages of Cube compared to other chains, I think it all starts with looking at the development of the blockchain, right? And so the blockchain has been developed for 10 years, and there's quite a few various public chains from Bitcoin all the way up to some of the other ones like Ethereum and Polkadot and some of the other public chains. And they're committed to solving the problem of an imperfect blockchain infrastructure, and that's really what Cube is set out to do, is to solve this trilemma that Vitalik spoke about so many times, of scalability, security, and decentralization. So the popularity of large-scale applications of blockchain technologies such as GameFi, DeFi, NFT, and others have really fueled a market need for public chains that encompass all of these things: high performance, advanced security, while maintaining scalability. And I think this is something that we've seen over the last year or two really highlighted. There have been issues where, like I mentioned earlier, the gas fees have been so high that people wanting to send $100 have to pay $20, $30, or invest or participate in projects. We've also seen some of the other chains slow down a great deal under the pressure of so much volume and so much traffic. So in order to achieve the ultimate optimization of these three aspects of the trilemma, Cube has split the functions of the blockchain. And this is something that we're very proud of, and I'd like to speak briefly about. So unlike traditional monolithic blockchains, Cube is vertically split to 3 layers. And those layers can be known as the executional layer, the settlement layer, and the data availability layer. And so each of these has a pretty unique spot or function inside of the overall ecosystem. And I'd like to just briefly touch on what those are. So the execution layer for transaction executions has built-in ZK-Rollup based Validium solutions. And this is something that we have developed internally, and we call it a collaborative rollup solution. And this is really the system's execution engine, and this is what sets us apart from a lot of the other projects out there. As far as the consensus level goes, Cube uses a settlement layer that is fully compatible with EVM and Ethereum protocols, and introduces a high-performance consensus protocol that supports large-scale node participation. So not only from the execution layer, but also from the settlement layer, we've brought unique technologies and technologies that are being developed, outside of Cube as well. But we've advanced this development, and we are rolling it out as of 2 days ago with the launch of our mainnet. And then one of the things that I've always thought about is, hey, if we're having so much problems at the early stages of let's call it the blockchain world, what's going to happen when all the apps that we see on the Web 2 right now move over to Web 3? What's going to happen when we have so much data and so much information moving around that it's going to be difficult for these chains to keep up? And so in respect of raw data storage for transactions, Cube has what we call the data availability layer. And what this does is it implements block data sharding
and sampling validation schemes in order to provide efficient and reliable storage services. So this is something that we think is really, really unique in the industry, and we're really excited to roll this out, all rolled into one layer, one blockchain. So for the rollups and for the NFT applications, there's no longer need to rely on external storage solutions, as the processing logic and the data are fully managed inside of the Cube network. Cube has developed a decentralized cross-chain communication protocol that we call time crossing, and this supports cross-chain DeFi contract calls and is compatible with Cosmos IBC protocol. So this is really at the core of what we're building at Cube, and we're very excited to continue to build an amazing ecosystem. And like I said, our launch of the mainnet is only 2 days old now, and so we're really excited about the growth and the future of our chain. What I'd like to do is take a look in here and see if there's any questions that I could answer, or if there's any one that has something that they would like to know. And here I see one. Let me see. It says, where is the future development direction of the public chain? What are the current problems? I think that's a great question. As we're a new chain, it's something that would be very important, is how we're starting, how it's going, and what our growth plans are. So, you know, as I mentioned earlier, with the explosive growth of the DeFi in the past year, the trading volumes on DEXs and some of the other projects has doubled, and the TVL on the chains has tripled, and in some cases even more than this. So this is something that we believe is a very good sign for the future, and we're very excited to continue to build. Now, with the Ethereum gas prices and the rise of layer one new public chains with high performance and low gas fees, Ethereum's market share has decreased by 1/3 in 1 year. So users are attracted by it's become very obvious to us and to the market that users and some of the developers are attracted by these low gas fees and some of the high performance public chains, especially other EVM compatible public chains. So the continuous development of public chain and the release of layer 2 capacity expansion schemes, Ethereum 2.0 is coming, and the importance, complexity, and interoperability of this cross-chain will continue to increase. So in the future, blockchain modularization will be key to solve some of these scalability problems. Multi-chain development will become the mainstream of the industry, and we feel like we're a step or two ahead of this with the solution that we've come up with. So the modular blockchain having the 3 layers of execution, settlement, and data availability, and the ability to solve some of the problems that we're seeing in a lot of the other chains. Now, the issue has to mention the value redistribution in the era of Web3. So this is something that we've thought about a great deal in a lot of the instances that we've seen. There's really a top-heavy distribution, and what we want to do is we want to bring this distribution to the users, to the content creators, to the developers, to the people that are actually involved in building this. So instead of us extracting value from users, Web3 networks will capture value by creating opportunities for them, and that's what Cube has set out to do. So the content, the data users create should belong to the users, not to the protocols, and not to the blockchains. And so the revenue generated by this data, as we can call it, it changes the whole business model. It changes the whole scheme. So currently, you know, Web 2 and some of the early blockchain technologies, the whole business model is you know, using that data and really not giving that power back to the users. And that doesn't create a very fair or open or transparent market. And, you know, as the infrastructure for Web3 continues to grow and continues to build, Cube takes into account this and the nodes, the developers, and the users. And these are really 3 of the key components to who's going to be on our blockchain. So, and it really determines who can participate in the governance and the staking of the tokens to gain rewards. So in addition to this, Cube has set up a special support fund to support high quality projects in our ecosystem. And we have a couple different mechanisms by which this can be developed. You can take a look on our social media channels and on our website to get more information about that. So what it does is it allows developers who participate in the deployment of some of these dApps on chain to be able to jointly participate in the distribution of gas and of the fees, thus simulating the ecosystem vitality and building the governance system to ensure the sustainable ecosystem. So this is really, really pretty cool, and we're excited to continue to build this out. We have a team of people currently today. You know, I personally, I live in Dubai, and I'm pretty excited to be over there because it's really a lot of growth going on in the industry. But this week, most of our team, a lot of our team is in Austin at the Consensus Show. So we're excited about bringing this technology to developers, to users, to the Web3 builders, and the ones that are going to be very, very key in the development of Web3 and of whatever, you know, I personally like to call the Internet of Value that's being created with a lot of these new technologies. So I'm going to go to my phone here and see if I can see another question here and continue to move forward with this. And please don't hesitate to take a look at the live streaming here and get any questions to me over that you might want to have. So the next one here that I'm seeing looks like it says, what exciting future development plans, what can users expect? That's a great question. We've been building you know, a lot of stuff. We are very excited about what the future holds. We've been working on this project now for quite some time, and we had the testnet launched roughly a month ago, and we're working through the testnet launch and users. And 2 days ago we did launch our mainnet. So we have really a lot to do in Q3 and Q4 of this year to bring this to the mainstream and bring this to as many people as possible. You know, one of the things that that we mentioned is as the mainnet went online, and we created a series of incentive activities has also been launched. So we are really welcoming developers, protocols, users to participate in this scheme and to be part of the incentive program that we're using to build this out. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, which is @Cube0x is our Twitter handle. And you can get most of the updated information there. We'll be giving out different tasks, different ways that you can be involved and gain some information. At the execution layer, Cube will keep up with the latest developments. So we plan to be the leader in the ZK EVM rollups, and as this is being integrated into other protocols, we want to be a leader in this. So we want to promote the practicality, the engineering, and the open source of the ZK EVM technology. And we're doing this in a couple of different ways, but the two key ways are with self-research. So we have a great deal of resources being dedicated to this. And the second way is with collaboration. So we really want to work with the top projects out there and help develop this. So as far as the settlement layer goes, we're going to advance our research and consensus protocols, and we're going to include in this semi-synchronous networks and pure asynchronous networks. So this is some of the plans for the future to support the consensus of large-scale nodes in various network environments. So that's something that's pretty exciting for us to continue to build, and we're pretty committed to doing that. Also, Cube Network has been running for quite some time with no major issues, and during this time, we have also received very positive support from the community, from the users, and from quite a lot of different developers and their projects. So this is something that we're really excited to continue to develop in the mainnet. And we feel like, you know, as of the launch of our mainnet recently, we've seen exponential growth in not only the amounts of transactions, but the amount of users, and also in the value of the Cube token. In the future, we plan to continue to drive value to the ecosystem and continue to build value behind our own token. by doing a series of incentive activities as a way to maintain the health and the sustainability of our ecosystem. So in any ecosystem, the nodes, the developers, and the users, like I mentioned earlier, play a very huge part. And we at Cube balance this interest of all three of these parties. We're not looking only to provide value to our node operators or to our developers, but we really want our users to play a huge part in this. And so what we plan to do is give on-chain governance and staking capabilities to all of these different types of users. In addition to this, eCube has set up a special Web3 welfare foundation to support high-quality projects on this chain. So with a vision of helping more people enter the Web 3.0 world, Cube really adheres to the principles that innovation shapes the future and upholds an inclusive and open-minded attitude. And if you take a look at our logo, I think that's something that is built into the DNA of who we are as people and what our project stands for. But you'll see that it's I don't know if you can see it on my shirt here, but it's a upside down triangle built of modular cubes and different components. And this is really symbolic of who we are as a company. We really want to turn the value proposition on its head so that the top of the triangle is really a funnel to the user, to the everyday user. And this is something that like I said, we've planned since the very beginning, and we really want this to be a huge part of what we're building. So as we start to build this this vision, let's call it, as more and more people enter Web3, we want to adhere to the principles of innovation that shape the future and that upholds this inclusive and open-minded attitude. So through working together with all the ecosystem parties, our mission is to build a new blockchain world that is fair and rewarding for everyone. And so this is really goes to the heart of what we're building at Cube, and we're pretty proud to be building this and to be a part of this. Let me see if I can see some other questions in here. Give me 1 second. What benefits do contributors get in the Cube ecosystem? This is a great question. One of the things that we have available are staking rewards, but we also have some incentive programs. And like I said, the best way to get this information is to go to our Twitter space, and there you can find, or our Twitter account rather, not space. There you can find a lot of information about this, and as we launch new programs and projects, you can find that. So you can find that at Cube 0x as our Twitter space. And another great place to get information is on our Telegram channel. We recently launched the Telegram channel, I don't know, a month ago or so, or less, and I think we already have upwards of 15,000 to 20,000 users on this. So it's quite a thriving community, and that can be reached on Telegram at cube_network. Let me see if I can find another question here. Will Cube make a stable coin? This is a good question, and this is not something that we have an announcement on or anything, but I think what we will support is people building great projects on our ecosystem. So when it comes to stablecoin, I don't think that I can answer that question right now. But what I would say is that those that are interested in building interesting things on our ecosystem, we welcome you guys with open arms. And we really have a collaborative spirit in our company. So what we're looking to do is to bring the best technologies onto our layer 1 so that we can be successful in our mission. And really, it all goes back to what our mission is and what we're looking to build with this. But Cube really wants to be the leader in the Web3 space. And we really want to be able to solve the trilemma that exists out there, that if a layer 1 is decentralized, then it's not going to be as scalable, or it's not going to be as secure. And we've seen over the last year, since the DeFi summer and beyond, that there's really a major issue when it comes to this stuff, right? So some of the layer 1s out there that work pretty good, they're not very decentralized. Some of the ones that are more decentralized are not scalable, and all of them altogether collectively have a bit of a security risk. We've seen billions of dollars siphoned off of layer one blockchains over the last 12, 16 months. And this is something that obviously, as more and more people come into Web3, is unacceptable. And so what we're trying to build at Cube is something that solves for all three of these issues. So that's really our mission and our goal. And we feel like that's going to be something that we're going to be able to accomplish by the technology that we've developed. And so, as I close out this this live, I'd really like to tell a little bit, kind of like a personal story from my side, because I've been in this space for quite some time, going on 6 or 7 years. And I've seen a lot of different things. I've seen some good projects. I've seen some scam projects. I've seen all sorts of things come across my desk. And when I decided to leave Binance, I was really excited about finding that next project that would be able to continue to build amazing technologies and amazing infrastructure and ecosystems to facilitate what I believe is about to come. So I think what we've seen and what we have currently is similar development. The internet came out, and I was just getting out of university. I graduated in '97, and during this time the internet was being developed, and there were many people that didn't think the internet would be important. There was a headline that said Amazon.bomb, and people thought that no one would ever buy a book, or let alone any other goods on a website. This was a crazy idea to many people back then. And I think the reality and history has proved those people to be very, very, very wrong. And today, whether it be Amazon, Alibaba, or many other technologies, we're able to buy things and have them delivered in a short period of time. And it has really allowed users of this new technology, let's call it the internet of information, to really live a life that is a little bit easier for them in certain aspects, right? And I think, from a personal standpoint, when I joined the blockchain industry, I really was drawn to this idea of the internet of value. And to me, being part of the internet of information, let's call it the original internet, I saw how this developed. I saw the rapid growth that it had, but I also saw a lot of the growing pains that it had, and a lot of the difficulties that it had in scaling. And so I think as we move into this next era of the internet of value, I like to call it, where we're able to quite easily and very rapidly move value around the world. And I think this is going to be something that's going to profoundly change the world as we know it and humanity. And I think we're already starting to see this happen. And the early adopters and those that are building on this technology are starting to see the fruits of their labor and see the reality. But at the end of the day, what we're focused on at Cube, and what I'm focused on personally, is to bring the next billion people into this industry, and to bring the next 1 billion people into Web3. And by doing this, I think that we're going to bring trillions upon trillions of dollars into this technology as well, and it will be a very powerful force for growth in the future, and possibly also a very powerful force for good, and for doing things that benefit humanity, benefit our planet, benefit the world that we live in. So, from my side, it's a very personal mission that we have at Cube, and it's one that when I met the leaders and the rest of the executive individuals that are helping to lead Cube, I was really blown away by the quality of the people that are creating this technology. And I think at the end of the day, if we take a look at how many transactions there will be in the future, how much data is going to be locked on chain, how much a need for security will be there as the growth of all these technologies bring the growth of bad actors. And so for me, it was very unique when I found Cube and when I decided to come join the team, because we have an opportunity inside of Cube to solve these issues that are currently plaguing the growth of the blockchain industry. And so this is something that I'm extremely proud to be a part of. And I think, again, the uniqueness of the execution layer, the settlement layer, and then the data availability layer. For Cube, we don't see this as something where the old technologies with a layer 2 on top of them will be the solution. Maybe they will be around, maybe these will be things that will work, but we really see a modular blockchain, such as the one we're building, to be the key leader in this space in the years to come. And so it's our pleasure to continue to build this and to continue to grow in this industry. I think I see I got one more question here. What, and this is a question that I've gotten in some of my other AMAs, and I'd like to touch on it real quickly. But how is the bear market going to affect the growth of Cube? And I think this is an excellent question because, one of the things that we in the industry are very proud of is building amazing products. And I think that's the exact same thing that we're doing at Cube. We're building an amazing layer 1 blockchain that's modular, that's scalable, that's very secure, and that has solved for some of the decentralized issues, so that we are able to give back the power to the users and to the developers. And so when I think about the bear market or the bull market, I think there's a huge distinction there, right? And so the ecosystem really benefits from a bull market because more and more users come in, more value is created, and the value of the industry, let's call it, or the market cap of all the cryptos and all the projects out there goes up. But this is oftentimes can be a little bit deceiving, in my opinion, and it's really one of those kinds of things where it's when the things are good, many people are there. When the things go bad is when it becomes a little more difficult to see this type of value. And so for me personally, and for our team at Cube, we really want to focus on building an amazing ecosystem for the growth of Web3. And in our opinion, this can be done equally as well, if not better, during a bear market. So we are very focused on keeping our heads down and building during this bear market. And that is something that I think is fairly unique in the industry. There's other projects that are doing this kind of thing, and it's a kind of a well-known fact that during the bear market is when some of the best projects are built and fortified, and the ecosystem can really be strengthened during these times. It kind of is a little bit counterintuitive, but it is the reality that during a bear market, a lot of the pretenders are shaken out. People that were in it only for the speculative nature, for the growth, for the trying to get rich quick kind of schemes. But when you see companies launching during a bear market, when you see companies devoting huge amount of resources to developing ecosystems, to making their product better, and to really bringing a revolutionary type of technology to the market, I think this is when we can really see who the real actors are and who it sets some of these projects apart from the others. So during a bear market, what I would suggest you do is you take a look at those people that are continuing to build great projects. And I think Cube is definitely in that group. We are focused during this bear market on building the best layer 1 modular blockchain that we can, and bringing as much of the Web3 onto it as we're able to, and as humanly possible during this time. So I think that's pretty much sums up a lot of my remarks here. But at the end of the day, we are really focused on a couple key things, and I'm just going to reiterate them. Scalability is very, very important for us. High performance is very important for us. Being modular is very important for us. And then compatibility. We are really focused, and we're one of the only ecosystems that has EVM and Cosmos compatibility from the very beginning. So we are, again, actively committed to participating in this development of creating an amazing decentralized Web3 infrastructure and cross-chain protocols that are going to ride on top of it. So what this is going to bring to us, it's going to provide our users, our developers, our node operators, those staking with us, with what we really believe to be a next generation multi-chain experience. And this is, in my closing remarks, I think this is really the core of what we're building at Cube, is something that's gonna drive us into the next generation of the web, and we're calling it Web3. I personally sometimes call it the Internet of Value, but this is going to be an amazing time for a lot of people. And so we really value our community a great deal, and we want to continue to grow our community. And we see technological innovation as being the driving force here for building this, for building the Web3 in the future. And we really feel that this unites our communities and the various projects that we have building on our ecosystem, and we'll be able to deliver a better Web3 experience to all of our users. So I want to thank everyone for joining in today. If you need any more information, you can find us on Twitter at Cube0x or on Telegram at Cube_network. So thank you very much, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.